The Christmas lights went up in Halifax this week, just before the floodlights went out at the Shay. Halifax Town, more than £300,000 in debt, are struggling to survive. The days when the likes of Manchester City were beaten here in the FA Cup are now just faded glories. For the last 3 years, Halifax have been the worst supported club in the Football League, and the decline has continued this season. Last Sunday, the team set off on what could be their last ride to Scunthorpe, courtesy of 3 fans who paid for the coach.
To Burnley, it cost us £50 to Burnley. I think it's about £150 to Scunthorpe.
So you've done it before?
Oh yes, we did it to Burnley this season, yeah.
Burnley last season.
And Burnley last season, yeah.
And what do you get for your sponsorship?
A free ride on the coach, tickets into the match, and that's it.
Got my heart in Halifax Town now, my business is in Halifax Town, my life's with Halifax Town, so that's why I just keep going.
At last week's home game, the chairman, John Madeley, staged a personal demonstration of gratitude to 1,400 fans. And the team responded. Against Exeter, beaten only once previously, Neil Matthews gave Halifax a first-half lead. Despondency was temporarily forgotten, and the celebrations were reinforced when central defender Alan Knill scored a second goal. So Halifax arrived at Scunthorpe with morale high after only 1 defeat in 7 games. PFA representative fullback Phil Brown summed up the players' mood.
In a way, you are worried, but you put that to your back of your mind. I mean, we've had assurances from the manager that there's no problem off the pitch. So on the park, we just get on with it, you know.
And off the park, manager Mick Jones has led the fundraisers. He turned last season's game at Preston into a sponsored walk.
I'm sick of doing walks, and I'm sick of doing things that possibly other people should be doing. I do know we've got a chairman who's at the moment like a dog with a bone, and he's not going to let it go. And if at the end of the day it comes up trumps, then we've got a very healthy football club in our hands.
But points are as important as pounds. So has Mick Jones said anything special today in the dressing room? I
remember about 5 weeks ago we went to Torquay and there was no hint of this. And I'm saying the same things today as I was saying at Torquay. It's all down to professionalism. We cannot dictate the finances of this football club, but we can dictate what happens on the field.
After 40 seconds, Mick Jones was wishing he could dictate a new script. Steve Johnson's header puts Halifax a goal down. Not the best start for the confidence of Paul Whitehead, Halifax's 16-year-old goalkeeper. But bad became terrible. From Scunthorpe's next attack, Steve Lister scored 2-0, and they'd been playing a minute and a half. It looked as though the roof could fall in on Halifax, but in adversity they showed their character. On the half hour, Alan Knill got them a goal back. And a 2-1 half-time deficit found their fans still optimistic.
I've been coming around with Halifax Town for 22 years. Many a time, you know, when we've had bad times like, and I feel like saying, you know, that's my last match I'm going to. You know, I'm still late match after.
In the second half, Halifax staged a brave and determined battle for an equaliser. And though they didn't succeed, they earned a tribute from manager Mick Jones.
There's not many industries where people would turn up if they don't get paid. Not only did we turn up, for me we put on a very, very good performance.
I suppose the terrible irony is that you could survive, get 2 good results in the Cup and draw a First Division side and solve a lot of your problems.
Well, on top of that as well, we could have a takeover. And after I've turned a few jobs down, if you like, after I've battled away with Little Halifax, the new man could come in and kick me out the door. That's even bigger irony for me.
Don't really expect it, do you?
Well, it's a possibility. I've been in football 20-odd years now, and I've got to accept the fact that you've only got to look at Ron Atkinson. It's a nasty business. It's a filthy business at times. And I've got to accept the outcome of what the decisions are made at the top. And if it means me going, but Halifax Town survives, then the right decision was made.
So it was back to Halifax and the uncertainties. Directors, shareholders, creditors and local council officers met to be told about 2 rescue bids that are on offer. Both have snags. One would entail Halifax finding somewhere else to play. But the meetings agreed to defer any drastic action at least until next Friday. The Electricity Board reconnected the power to the floodlights, and today's FA Cup tie will be played. Halifax Town are still with us, but there are more anxious days ahead.
Small crowds and not a lot of potential, and certainly no cash, not even wages. But at the end of the day, I dread to think what I'd do without it.